Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy, He Who Makes Needle Fiber, representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm coming at you guys with an update for Crystrons. This deck needed an update regardless because the ban list affected two cards that I was playing, so I just pretty much swapped them out. Basically, I swapped Steam the Cloak for Olion and Glow Bolt for Jet Synchron. It's almost like the same thing. Funny because they have very similar effects. Like this is like another Steam the Cloak, and Jet Synchron's like another Glow Bulb, you know? So it's really cool that the deck didn't really lose too much. I mean, I can't really be making that beast and stuff, but it doesn't change that much. I think this deck is really cool because while it's not meta, it does have the ability to play through multiple interruptions and hand traps, and it is capable of putting up boards that pretty much can doo-doo on almost every meta deck. It can put up boards of multiple negates. One of the most impressive boards it puts up actually has 8 negates. I even showed you how to do that. People really don't. My Crystron content do not be getting views like that, honestly. It's kind of sad because there's a lot of people that could be missing out on a great opportunity to pilot a cheap deck that can do the same exact thing that the Rock deck can do, the same thing that Pendulum decks can do, you know, that Heralds can do. But this deck also abuses Kyoto Waterfront, which gives it a significantly higher ceiling in terms of the boards that it can make because it can put out almost dang near infinite negates. You're able to put up the Waterfront and have multiple ways to put up to 4 counters on it. And that in itself already is 4 or even 5 Omni negates if you let one card hit the grave. And that's an entire hand. That's excluding the fact that Needle Fiber is a 1 card, Herald of the Arclight, and Borreload Savage, and excluding the fact that the Crystron lets you summon cards like Dawn Dragster on your opponent's turn. You can use the level 4 to make Omega. Like there's just so much reactive plays. The deck can spam it. I play it as a combo variant, but also you can play it control, and it does really play well as a control deck as well when you're using it to just abuse the Crystron cards to synchro on your opponent's turn, disrupt them, summoning cards like Trishula and Black Rose, nuking fields, stopping combos midway. The deck's pretty awesome. I got it broken down in the categories of Crystrons, normal summons, extenders, and then necessary basically engine requirements. But yeah, you guys, if you would like to support my channel, check the link description box below. You'll find multiple ways that you can donate to me. And also, if you would like to buy any of my Team Kings of Games t-shirts, I know that I just didn't get the right sizes. I kind of regret getting mediums and larges. I should have just got extra large, double XL, and triple XL. But it is what it is. If you could fit them, I would greatly appreciate it if you wanted to get one of my Team Kings of Games t-shirts. But with that out of the way, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop into the deck profile. So like I said, I got it broken down in categories. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Crystron cards. And I'm going to show you guys a couple cool combos at the end of it so you guys can see I'm not capping on what this deck can do. Even though I already made videos literally showing this deck putting up 8 negates. 8 negates playing Crystrons. We have 3 copies of Sophephonir. The card's amazing. Honestly, it's the embodiment of what an extender should be. I feel like every extender should be able to turn itself into a follow-up. And this card can be a starter as well. So it's a starter, it's an extender, it's a recovery play, it's a follow-up. It lets you play through hand traps and disruptions. It has a floating ability that's incredible. So if your synchros die, it floats down to this floats into another tuner. The tuner then summons another synchro, and it's just on and on we go. Up and down the ladder. So Sophephonir is just standalone, one of the best cards in the deck. Every single combo, you're going to be searching this out by making Cherubini. Mind you, Cherubini Turbo is kind of like the thing before Needle Fiber came out. So now the deck's basically Cherubini / Needle Fiber Turbo. After that, you make any board you want. It's crazy. I love the way the deck functions. I know a lot of people play like Control, but honestly, if you want to play competitive Crystrons, you want to be a little bit unfair, and not even a little bit, very unfair. And this deck puts up very unfair boards. I can show you 1-card combos that put up literally like insane boards just off 1 card. The deck has a bunch of 1- and 2-card combos. When you get to Waterfront, it becomes a 3-card combo because any of your 2-card combos will be added to the Waterfront. Waterfront's just there to search the Gamma Seal, summon it off Skull Dread. So basically, it's still a 2-card combo, but you know what I mean. So continuing with the Crystrons, we play 3 copies of this turn. He's what's going to allow you to search out your Sophephonir. Very important. You're going to be sending him off Cherubini if you didn't already draw him. If you drew him, then you'll send either your Smiger or one of your extenders. You can send cards like what's his name? I don't want to butcher his name, but the Sea Archiver, for example. That's a level 3 extender that you can dump off of your Cherubini to get added value off of it. Continuing with the Crystrons, we play 3 copies of Smiger. So what the Crystrons do, if you guys didn't know, every base Crystron monster, I'll go ahead and just leave them out right here, that aren't tuners have an ability to target a face-up card on the field, destroy it, special a Crystron tuner from the deck. That's a 1-card synchro. So they're like Zodiacs, they're 1-card combos, because you can make level 4s and level 5s. Like this can make, for example, this could be a 1 card level 6, this could be a 1 card level 4, these can be 1 card level 5 synchros. And Sofefenir just really broke the deck. Like before, it was a little bit even more difficult to pilot, but with Sofefenir, it raised the ceiling of the deck and it made it easier to pilot. Because I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this deck does have a high learning curve. And when I first got the deck, it used to kind of get on my nerves because I just didn't know what I was doing. I kept trying so many different things. I'm like, ultimately, I'm ending on the same thing, just able to make like a Black Rose in your opponent's turn. But sometimes that's just like not enough, honestly. But this deck is capable of spitting out some ridiculous boards now. So now you know their on-field effects, their graveyard effects allow you to banish them to do A, B, or C. You can't use both effects, so it's kind of like when you play Thunders and Orcus, you want to manage your effect activations, but now that Needle Fiber's out, you can actually banish all of them the turn you use them and not have to worry about saving one on field to tutor out a tuner, because Needle Fiber can bring out your Crystron tuners, and it's his deck. It's what it's meant for. But anyways, summon a level 1 token, special Crystron from hand, search a Crystron spell trap, search a Crystron monster. Discard basically this discards any Crystron card to summon itself from hand or graveyard, which is broken. Once you resolve it once, it's going to chill in grave every turn. And you can even set yourself up to have a discard fodder off of this by using impact to summon out cards like this, Fern and Smiger, so that you can use their graveyard effects to search for a Crystron card so that you can discard it to trigger this. Because when he's summoned, he destroys a card on the field, preferably itself. Then he's going to special summon a Crystron monster from your deck. That's any Crystron monster, so he even makes Needle Fiber himself. He could be basically a 2-card Needle Fiber if you open him, plus this Fern, it's a 2-card Needle Fiber combo, or you can make Cherubini and still make Needle Fiber on the follow-up based on the composition of your starting hand. The tuners, I play a 2-2-1 ratio. I know a lot of people don't play Rich Homie Quan, but you gotta put respect on him because he is a level 1. He has synergy with Crystron Entry, which is how you can make cards like Borload Savage on your opponent's turn. Increasing levels is really important, and just him being a level 1 in itself is important for certain synchro combos, and also he has his own cool effect where he can special non-tuner from your hand, immediately synchro with it to a machine type synchro. They all share that effect, they just summon from different areas. This summons from grave, this summons from banish zone, this summons from hand, and then you have cards that summon from deck. So there's nothing that Crystrons can't touch, and Omega can even put back banish face down, so you never lose access to your cards ever. And anytime you synchro with him, it's going to banish the materials. Anytime you synchro with him, they get shuffled to the deck. So that's the Crystrons. The rest of the deck doesn't really need explaining because it plays old and new generic cards. So the starter cards are basically your normal summons outside of the Crystrons themselves because they can be starters. We played 3 copies of Undyne, and I played the 1 controller to go with them. Undyne is literally a 1-card Cherubini or a 1-card Needle Fiber. The cool thing is you can make Needle Fiber still leaving Undyne on the field, and if you have any level 3 extender, which I play a ton of them, you can basically make Cherubini next to your Crystron Needle Fiber. I call them Needle Fiber before somebody tries to correct me. I just like calling them Needle Fiber. You can make Cherubini right next to it so you can do your combo, and then you can end up making the Mecha Phantom Beast link last as one of the last things you do, because once you use it you can't link anymore. But it's cool that you can do stuff like that, so you can not have to worry about playing around your own deck where you're playing around your restrictions of the mechanics. You can do everything in one turn, which is really, really cool. So if you don't want to hold any of your resources for follow-ups, you can vomit out your whole hand and tell your opponent you better have Dark Ruler no more, basically. Something else that's really cool is you can hand loop with this deck, which is another really, really cool thing. So sometimes you might get lucky and snipe the Dark Ruler. But we played 3 righties and 2 lefty drivers. This card is a 1-card Needle Fiber in itself, so it's a 1-card 2 interruptions. This plus a level 3 extender can be 1-card 3 to 4 interruptions, because Cherubini can do so many different things in this deck. So these are vital normal summons. I did play Mathematician. I recommend if you have room, play Mathematician, but there's just extra added cards in here that I felt added to the win condition, whereas Mathman kind of does nearly the same exact thing as Undyne, so it's like playing more Mathmans. You can play Scrap Recycler with the Scrap Wyvern too. There's a ton of things you can play in this deck, but this is the list as is. So for the extenders now, because you saw the Crystrons and the starters, we played 3 Chronograph Sorcerers. It might seem crazy to play this, but it's actually insane. Not only are you destroying your own cards with all of your Crystron effects, but he also can special Time Gazer from the deck, which allows you to make cards like Cherubini with ease. This plus Righty Driver is just a nutty 2-card combo that's going to generate a bunch of negations. And it's just off of 2 cards. That's the beauty of how consistent this deck is. You can draw a bunch of bricks and still go off with 1 or 2 cards. You don't need all 5 cards in your hand to be playable like with Pendulums. And you know, with Animatia, I think it's very similar where you're going off with very little cards. I played 3 copies of Gallus. It's a level 3 extender by nature. It's not once per turn. It's one of the freeze cards to use. You do get lucky sometimes, and you sack Crystrons like Sofefenir and Thisfern off of the top of your deck. So it can get even better than the pen and paper. We played 3 copies of Defrag. And also, this should be basically Psychic Willider, but I don't have any, so these are Willaders, because it's better than Tracker for the sense that it's a tuner. That's the reason why it's better, because it can make Cherubini or Needle Fiber. So if you have Willaders, play them. I just don't, so this is kind of like my cheap little substitute. I also play Triple Arborea. Similar to Psychic Tracer, she's a level 3 that can be Cherubini or a Crystron Needle Fiber Extender. You're always Link Summoning in this deck, so you're always going to be able to trigger her effect. It's beautiful. She really does work very well for the deck. And I also played 2 copies of Reclusia. It was at one of the lists, but honestly, you kind of just need a little bit better going second game. So this card can easily bait interruptions. Under Cherubini and with the Borea engraved, it's just a free pop, and then you can still make other cards after that. So I just really like the Reclusia. And then for another additional target for the Cherubini, I play 1 Sea Archiver. That's just for when you draw the Crystron cards that you needed already, so you still want Cherubini to have a little bit more utility so that you can extend more. And then Foolish Burial is like one of the best extenders of the deck. So these are all your extenders. I can go ahead and count them so you can see how many ways you can just make Cherubini without even requiring a ridiculously powerful hand. Like, you don't need to draw any good starters. You can just draw a handful of extenders, and you can dump your starters off of Cherubini. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Time Gazer doesn't really count, but he's still a level 3 for Cherubini. That's valid. So I would say 18 extenders, which is a decent amount because I do play 60. And then the final package is just basically, this is engine requirements. O-Lion, Jet Synchron that I don't have, and then Gamma Seal. These are just engine requirements. The cool thing is, these can be drawn, it's totally fine. Like, I can literally show you guys where you just draw a Brick Hand. So, like, it's crazy. You can draw a Brick Hand and still go off. I value Waterfront so much that this is what I did for spells. Basically, every spell gets the Waterfront except for the Crystallic Potential. It's just here for me to play secondary field spells so that I can play set rotation. Because Waterfront, opening with it is just a win condition. Also, you can make boards where you just link your Needle Fiber off at the end of the combo so that you're not susceptible to Super Poly for like a Mud Dragon in the Swamp. So basically, your opponent has to have the Dark Ruler no more, for example, or like you can make it to where your board isn't susceptible to Spear Mode. Lava Golem's a different story, but basically, it's like you're just putting out ridiculously powerful boards. It's cool to still draw this because you do Synchro Summon a lot on your opponent's turn, so this can be a really beneficial card. You can also play other cards like Starlight Junction so that you can shuffle cards on your opponent's turn. But ultimately, even if you draw this turn 1, you can plus pretty heavy off of it. It depends on how many Crystron Synchros you play. Like if you make a Matrix and Quandex in the same turn, you're going to draw a lot. But ultimately, it's just a valid target for set rotation to be able to activate to give me a Waterfront. So I play 5 Waterfronts. Think of it that way. But I did name a couple other fields, but you can play Mystic Mine, Starlight Junction. It's up to you. And don't ever let anybody tell you how to play your deck. And you don't need anybody to think for you either. You can just do whatever you want. You know, that's the beauty of Yu-Gi-Oh! We have 3 copies of Impact and 1 entry for the targets for Smiger. I played 3 Impact because I actually do value the grind game. I think any deck should be able to grind because you don't know what's going to happen. You can make a board think it's not going to get broken, and then your opponent top deck Spear Mode, Super Poly, and Dark Ruler no more, and you're like, dang. You know, so you just need to be ready for that. Entry is very slept on in Crystron list. It does have an incredible graveyard effect to dump any Crystron from your deck to the grave, targeting a Crystron, and then you change its level to that. On activation, it just summons 2 tuners, which is crazy, from the hand or the grave, and that just extends a bunch. Now for the extra deck, let me check the timer. Beautiful. We played 1 Needle Fiber. I would play 2, but I only have 1. But you should definitely play 2. Cherubini, Mecha Phantom Beast, Aurora, I don't even want to try to say it. Somebody's going to try to correct me like always. Saryuja Scoldred, Appaloosa, Link Spider, and Link Creepo. Appaloosa is the only one that's like not mandatory, but because you can make it so easily, and you can still make Needle Fiber under it, that's what's important. Because keep in mind, like, Needle Fiber is not hard to make in this deck, so you can easily go Scoldred, Special Gamma Seal, make a card like Cherubini, then turn Cherubini into Needle Fiber, and then do the combo. Because if you pay attention to the Mecha Phantom Beast, it says blah 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 blah. Let's skip to for the rest of the turn you cannot link summon. So what's really cool is you can make a whole bunch of links and then make Needle Fiber as your last play, summon this bad boy, and then do your standard combo to summon Borreload Savage and Herald of the Arclight. So imagine just bare minimum vomiting out a Kyoto Waterfront, Gamma Seal with 5 counters, and then just making a Needle Fiber, which isn't hard at all. The deck literally makes Needle Fiber like in your sleep. It's so easy to make it in this deck. It's ridiculous. So yeah, like I said, you're easily putting up like 8 negate boards. We have Carry On Quandrax. This is one of the best cards to summon on your opponent's turn. Also, Trishula, hands down, is insane. It's easy to make in your on your opponent's turn in this deck. You can even make it on your turn. It's not hard to synchro summon in this deck. This is a good synchro deck. We play Omega because I don't have Savage, so this should just be Savage. I wish that I did have Savage, but I just don't have one right now. But basically, for this list, since I don't have Savage, I'm making Omega Inherit of Arclight. Omega is still really, really good because you do banish Crystrons a lot, and he can easily recur them. Also, at the same time, just keep in mind that he's still a disruption himself. We have Black Rose and Don Draxter. We have Herald of the Arclight, Quandax, and then Formula Synchron as a secondary target for Needle Fiber, so that cards like Citri and also, you know, like Rion or Rich Homie Quan can make this, and the Needle Fiber can just have another target. I swapped this out with the Desert Locust. You can do hand loops though. You can do like Omega Desert Locust. If you're playing hand chop, you took 3. But I like this because its levels lower, so that you can make cards like Trish. Because if you leave your level 3, like if you do the 1-card combo with Undyne, make your Needle Fiber, you can summon this out. The Crystron Trap can summon out the level 4 Phoenix that you, Rosenix that you basically banished off the Undyne to make it a 1-card combo. And if you add the levels, you have 4, 6, 3, that's 9. You can make easily a Trishula just off of that. So basically, then Undyne can become like a 1-card Trish if you need it to be. It's really, really nice. Well, just 1 card plus any Crystron card basically. So yep, now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a quick little combo. Waterfront's easy because this deck spams a lot, so I'm really not going to have to show you, but if you want to, I have literally an infinite negate combo tutorial. I have a bunch of Crystron content. Like I said, it just doesn't get views. Nobody really seems to care about Crystrons, but I'll go ahead and show you guys basically what Undyne can do with just any level 3 extender. So for example, you know, Psychic Tracer. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to normal summon Undyne. For cost, you send a water monster to search controller. That's what's cool about this, is you can get cards like Sophefinir, get access to Sophefinir off of this Fern. You can just dump Sophefinir off of Undyne for cost. You can dump Rosenix for cost. You can dump this as an extender for cost. And your opponent really might not even want to Ash Blossom at that point, which is really, really cool. But if they do, you appreciate it either way. So you're going to dump basically the Rosenix for cost and then search out your controller. I got to, you know, get through because it's organized. Search the controller. And then what you're going to do next, you can just special summon the Tracer because you control level 3. You're going to banish the Rosenix, summon the level 1 token, link it into Link Spider because it's a normal monster, and activate Link Spider to special summon the Gen X controller. The next thing that you can do is go ahead and make Needle Fiber with these two. And keep in mind, this is the 1-card combo right here. So you don't even need the level 3 extender to do it. I'm just showing you guys that you can just make Cherubini and you can do a little bit more. So let's just say for example, you just didn't have the extender. I'll just show you guys exactly how potent it really is. But this is just there to show you guys, because I play 18 extenders, so it's very realistic that I'm going to draw one of these. But anyways, just with Undyne alone, you use Needle Fiber to special summon out the Jet Synchron, and that's your 1-card combo. And then you can go ahead and link the Needle Fiber and the Jet Synchron into the Mechamphantom Beast link. And then you spam 3 tokens, you know, and then you do the standard combo. Tribute this in a token, summon out your Mechamphantom Beast O-line, and basically you make, you know, Savage and also the, where's my boy at? Head of the Arclight. But you want to make use of this Undyne that's chilling here, so show you guys something really, really cool that you can do. So if you want to make more use of the Undyne, basically if you just open a level 3 extender, so same thing, you're going to use Needle Fiber to summon out Jet Synchron. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and link these 2 level 3s into Cherubini. And then you're going to go ahead and use Cherubini's effect, and you're going to dump a level 3. So what I would do, if there's nothing else in my hand, no other Crystron cards, but if you have a Crystron card, which is likely, because think of it this way, you play 18 level 3 extenders and 19, I'm sorry, actually you play 22 Crystron cards and 18 level 3 extenders. So if you open Undyne, you're basically going to open a Crystron card and an extender, because that's more than half your deck. So if you played off in the realistic manner, because you already get 2 negates just off of 1 Undyne, but if you open the extender and the Crystron card, it becomes a little bit more powerful. Because basically any Crystron card, it can even be Impact, for example. You can make Cherubini use his effect. You'll go ahead and dump your Sophefinir, because Undyne already is 1 card, 2 negates, because it's a 1-card Needle Fiber. But you have a leftover Undyne that's just sitting there that you really want to use sometimes. You can obviously use it, for example, instead of making Arc Light, you can just synchro into a level 7 like Don Draxter, but Arc Light's an Omni Negate and it's a Floodgate at the same time, so it's a little bit better. So Cherubini dumps the this Fern, you banish the this Fern, and you go ahead and search out your Sylphephoneer. You use your Sylphephoneer, discard any random Crystron card because that's how he works. Summon him, destroy himself, and then what you want to do is summon out. Where they at though? A card like Smiger, or you can summon out one of your Crystron tuners, for example. If you get Smiger, you can get Impact, but let's just say you get out one of your Crystron tuners, just for example. Then what you can do, this gets an extra interruption too, which is really cool. So you can go ahead and continue with your standard combo, you know, summon the Mecha Phantom Beast, you summon your 3 tokens. If you want to link spam and you have additional extenders, you can make Oppo and put the Oppo right below the Needle Fiber before you do this. But anyways, you're just going to do this. Summon the 3 tokens, tribute this in one of the tokens. You're going to summon out O-Lion. You still have 2 more tokens left. Then you're going to go ahead and synchro with this and the 2 tokens. You're going to make your level 8, which should be Savage because it's an Omni Negate. So make your Savage. Equip this. I'm going to get a Savage soon. Equip this. Obviously, you can chain block. So O-Lion summons a level 3 token, which is really cool because it's a level 3. So if you didn't already have Cherubini, you normally would. And then you can use the Jet Synchron to resummon it. And you have like just a ton of options, honestly, like you really do, because this is there, that's chilling. So you're gonna synchro with that in the tuner and the token to make the Herald of the Arc Light, and make sure nothing's in the same column. Then on your opponent's turn, you already have these negates. You can use the Citri to summon this, sync with it, and then you can make your Don Draxter, which makes more negates. So you just get 3 negates off of it, which is really cool. If you opened Waterfront, you're making Skull Dread. You just take that token, that Cherubini, and the monster you summon off Sylphephoneer, and you just make your Skull Dread. Like, dude, it's crazy. The deck just can do so much, but basically, like I said, Undyne's a 1-card combo. If you open any one of your 22 Crystron cards and any one of your 19 extenders, which how are you not? But, you know, like I said, it's a 1-card combo anyways. You normally just go pretty nuts. That's why every time you open Waterfront, it's always insane because it's never really like you're not gonna be able to make a Skull Dread. Like what? Needle Fiber is a 1-card Skull Dread. It can be so many different things. But that's the profile, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. I'm gonna say a quick prayer before I get off. If you don't want to hear the prayer, just skip past it. But our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth, just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord. And please forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. All right, deuces is wild, yo.